The drums start before sunrise. Not the kind you'd expect, no steady rhythm, no predictable beat. These are irregular, urgent, like a heartbeat that's just run up a mountain. In the pre-dawn darkness of Siberut Island, something is about to happen that hasn't changed in thousands of years. And it all begins with a pig. Welcome to Arat Sabulungan, a ceremony so intertwined with the Sakuddei people's existence that there's no word in their language that means religion separate from life. Because here, they're the same thing. For the Sakuddei, one of the last semi-nomadic indigenous groups in the Mentawai islands of Indonesia, Arat Sabulungan isn't just a ritual. It's a covenant. A conversation between humans, spirits, and the forest itself. And today, you're going to witness what happens when that conversation requires blood, flowers, and absolute precision. But here's what makes this different from any spiritual practice you've seen: the Sakuddei don't ask their spirits for favors. They negotiate. They make deals. And if they break those deals, the forest remembers. Let me tell you about the Quetzala. These aren't gods. They're not demons. They're complicated. The Sakuddei understand the world as layered with invisible beings, spirits that live in trees, rocks, rivers, even the air between breaths. The Quetzala are the souls of everything. And I mean everything. Your soul. The pig's soul. The sago palm's soul. The river's soul. And here's the thing that Western anthropologists struggle to understand for decades: these souls get sick. When a Sakuddei person falls ill, it's not bacteria they're worried about. It's soul theft. Their Quetzala has wandered off, maybe seduced by a forest spirit, maybe offended by broken taboo, maybe just lost. That's where Arat Sabulungan comes in. It's soul retrieval surgery. And the sikerei, the shamans, are the surgeons. But retrieving a soul isn't like picking up lost luggage. It requires payment. Animal sacrifice. Specific songs sung in exact sequence. And mistakes? They don't just mean the ceremony fails. They mean the spirits get angry. The preparation for major Arat Sabulungan can take weeks. Families must gather specific plants that only grow in certain moon phases. They need chickens with particular feather patterns. Pigs raised in prescribed ways. Everything matters. The color of flowers. The direction the altar faces. The number of betel leaves. This isn't superstition to the Sakuddei. This is technology, tested over millennia. Miss a step, and the healing doesn't work. Follow the protocol exactly, the person recovers. From their perspective, it's as reliable as any medicine. It's dawn now. The drums have found their rhythm. The the communal longhouse, is packed. Not with observers. With participants. Because in Arat Sabulungan, there's no audience. The sikerei enters. He's not dressed like what you'd expect a shaman to look like. No mystical robes. Just a loincloth made from beaten bark, a headdress of hornbill feathers, and layers upon layers of beaded necklaces and shell ornaments. Each piece has power. Each bead is a connection to specific spirits. He begins to chant. Not in the everyday Sakuddei language, in spirit language. A dialect passed down through generations of sikerei, taught only to those chosen by the spirits themselves. The words sound ancient. Guttural. Like the forest is speaking through human vocal cords. The pig is brought forward. Here's where modern viewers get uncomfortable. But understand this, for the Sakuddei, this animal isn't just food. It's a messenger. Its soul will travel to the spirit world carrying prayers, apologies, promises. Its blood will seal the agreement. The sacrifice is swift. Respectful. The sikerei whispers to the pig before the blade touches skin, explaining its purpose, honoring its role. Blood is collected in bamboo containers. Some will be smeared on the sick person's forehead. Some will be offered to the earth. Some will be mixed with sacred plants. Nothing is wasted. The meat will feed the community for days. The bones will be carved into tools or amulets. Even the intestines are read like maps, divining signs from the spirits about the ceremony's success. And then comes the moment that makes Arat Sabulungan truly remarkable, the soul journey. The sikerei sits cross-legged, eyes open but not seeing. His breathing changes, deeper, slower, then suddenly rapid. The drums match his breath. Because the drums aren't leading him. He's leading them. This is where skeptics stop believing and anthropologists start taking notes frantically. Because what happens next has been documented, studied, and remains unexplained. The sikerei begins to speak in voices that aren't his. Different pitches. Different ages. Sometimes feminine. Sometimes animalistic. He's channeling the Quetzala, negotiating with spirits who've taken the sick person's soul. According to Sakuddei cosmology, the spirit world has geography. There are upper realms where benevolent spirits live. Lower realms where dangerous ones dwell. The sikerei must navigate these. He describes what he sees: forests made of light, rivers flowing upward, houses built from moonbeams. Sometimes the journey takes minutes. Sometimes hours. There are documented cases of sikerei remaining in trance states for entire days, their bodies sustained by nothing but the community's songs and occasional sips of medicinal water. And then, suddenly, he gasps. A sharp intake of breath. His eyes focus. He's back. And in his clenched hand, held tight to his chest, he carries something invisible but absolutely real to everyone present, the recovered soul. He stands. Walks to the sick person. Places his hands on their head, their chest, their belly. Whispering now. Not in spirit language, in human language. Coaxing the Quetzala back into its proper body. Sealing it there with prayers, with blood, with love. Does it work? Western doctors would say the placebo effect. Psychosomatic healing. The power of belief. But here's what the data actually shows. Sakuddei who participate in Arat Sabulungan recover from certain illnesses at statistically significant rates. Stress-related conditions. Psychogenic symptoms. Even some infections show improvement. Maybe it's community support. Maybe it's the ritual structure reducing anxiety. Maybe it's medicinal properties in the plants used. Or maybe, and the Sakuddei would argue this, it's because the ceremony actually works on levels we don't have instruments to measure yet. But Arat Sabulungan isn't just about healing sickness. It's performed for new births. Before hunts. After deaths. When building a new Ummah. Before marriage. After broken taboos. It's the thread that stitches together every major moment in Sakuddei life. And here's what's heartbreaking, it's disappearing. In 1900, an estimated 60,000 people practiced Arat Sabulungan across the Mentawai Islands. Today, fewer than 10,000 Sakuddei remain. And the number of trained sikerei? Maybe 200. Most are elderly. The transmission is breaking. Indonesian government policies once actively suppressed indigenous practices, classifying them as primitive. Christian and Muslim missionary work converted thousands. And perhaps most significantly, the modern world offers alternatives that seem easier. Pills instead of pig sacrifice. Hospitals instead of soul journeys. But what's being lost isn't just ritual. It's a complete psychological framework for understanding illness, community, and the natural world. It's an ecological knowledge system where every plant has purpose. It's a social structure that makes mental health treatment communal rather than individual. So here's the question that should make us uncomfortable. What makes one healing system medicine and another ritual? The Sakuddei have used Arat Sabulungan successfully for millennia. That's thousands of years of empirical evidence. Longer than modern pharmacology has existed. Longer than germ theory. Longer than psychology as a formal discipline. Is it because we can't measure a soul? But we can't measure consciousness either, not really. We can measure brain activity correlated with consciousness. We can measure behavioral changes correlated with souls returning, too. What the Sakuddei understand, what their entire cosmology is built around, is that healing isn't just physical. It's spiritual, social, ecological. You can't separate the sick person from their relationships, from their environment, from their sense of meaning and purpose. Modern medicine is starting to rediscover this. Psychoneuroimmunology, the gut-brain axis, social determinants of health, the impact of meaning and purpose on recovery rates. We're using different language, but we're describing something the Sakuddei have known forever. When a sikerei performs Arat Sabulungan, he's not just addressing symptoms. He's repairing relationships, between person and community, person and forest, person and their own sense of self. Maybe that's not backward. Maybe that's sophisticated. The ceremony ends as the sun reaches its peak. The sick person sits up. Not miraculously cured, perhaps, but surrounded. Held by community. Reconnected to the forest, to the spirits, to their own body. They'll eat the sacrificed pig together. They'll tell stories. They'll laugh. The drums will start again, but different now, celebratory. Children will dance. Elders will nod approval. Life will continue. Because that's ultimately what Arat Sabulungan is, life continuing. Despite sickness. Despite spirits. Despite everything that threatens to fragment us from each other and from the world we're part of. The Sakuddei aren't primitive people clinging to outdated beliefs. They're sophisticated psychologists, ecologists, and philosophers who've wrapped their understanding into ceremony because ceremony is how humans remember important things. And maybe, just maybe, as their numbers dwindle and their practices fade, we should pay attention to what's being lost. Not to romanticize it. Not to appropriate it. But to recognize that their way of healing contained wisdom we're only beginning to reconstruct. The forest still holds their secrets. The drums still remember the rhythms. And somewhere in the mountains of Siberut, a young sikerei is learning songs that have been sung since before writing existed. Will we still hear them in another generation?